Why live in the present? You've probably heard many people say, live in the present moment. But have you ever asked yourself, why? And even if you want to, how exactly do you do it? Most people never really explain the steps clearly. In this video, I will help you understand what living in the present truly means and share 3 practical ways you can practice it. Before we start, I'd like you to listen with your heart, not just with your head, because the mind alone can't fully grasp this. If you only use your thoughts, you'll get caught in overthinking. And that overthinking actually creates a false version of yourself. This false self covers up the real you, and that is why you suffer. This false self is built from fear and a sense of lack. It desperately needs a sense of identity and importance, so it ties itself to your problems, trying to pull you into analyzing, worrying, and solving endless issues. It wants you to stay stuck there, because only if you keep chasing problems, this false self can survive. If you break free from your worries, it will disappear, and it doesn't want that. So your mind tries to keep you in a passive, confused state, always fighting, always struggling. That's why the Buddha said, all beings suffer. If you can deeply feel what I'm saying, not just think about it, but truly sense it, you may start to see the real reason for your suffering. You have been living inside your thoughts instead of living in the present. From this moment, you can begin to step out of that shadow and move into true freedom. If you want to stop being trapped in negative emotions, if you want to stop identifying with the false self created by your thoughts and find your true nature, then listen carefully. I will guide you through 3 simple, powerful mindsets to help you return to the present moment. Mindset 1. Step out of the trap of time. First, learn to see the difference between clock time and psychological time. Clock time is the practical time you use every day, like setting an alarm for work or planning your schedule. Psychological time is when you keep replaying the past or worrying about the future in your mind. For example, let's say you made a mistake at work last week. It's useful to take a bit of time to think, okay, how can I do better next time? That is clock time, practical, conscious use of time. But if you keep beating yourself up, why did I do that? I'm useless. I'll never be good enough. Day after day, over and over. That is psychological time. You are stuck in endless regret and self-criticism, which steals your attention from the present. The same happens if you set a goal. It is good to plan your steps and work toward it in the present. But if you only focus on what will happen when I get there and keep worrying, what if I fail? What if it's not enough? You lose connection to the present moment. When that happens, you miss all the small joys and miracles of life that exist right now. Some people say, but the present is painful. I can only get hope from dreaming about a better future. Actually, that's a trap. Every time you dream about a happier future, you remind yourself that you're unhappy now, and that gap is the source of your pain. Real change comes from what you do right now. The seeds you plant today will grow into your future. No amount of dreaming can replace that. If you put all your precious attention into hopes about tomorrow, you will have nothing left to focus on today, and so you cannot change anything. Maybe you wonder, if I don't think about the past or future, won't I lose track of time? Not at all. You still use clock time to plan, work, and organize. That's practical and necessary, but you stop living inside your thoughts about time. You have only these few decades in your life. Why waste them being lost in worries about things that don't even exist right now? Mindset 2. Stop creating problems. Your mind is very good at creating imaginary problems. It takes a small worry, then turns it into a huge burden. For example, maybe you get a small comment from your boss. Please be more careful next time. Instead of seeing it as feedback, you let your mind blow it up. He hates me. I'm terrible. I'm going to get fired. That is your thoughts creating a false self, a scared, negative version of you. Once you identify with that false self, you feel trapped, powerless, depressed, or anxious. Then you stop taking any real action and live only in a cloud of thoughts, like a person who is alive physically but feels dead inside. A simple way to see if you have left the present is to ask yourself, right now, do I feel joy, lightness, and ease in what I'm doing? If the answer is no, you are probably stuck in psychological time. When a real crisis happens, like a car accident, notice how your mind stops thinking. You act instantly, clearly. decisively. You feel fully present. That is your true self acting, without the endless mental chatter. So remember, most of the problems you feel are created by your thoughts. If you come back to the present, the problems dissolve. Mindset 3. Change the way you do things. The third mindset is about how you act. Stop focusing only on the results. Instead, focus on what you are doing right now. For example, if you are washing dishes, instead of thinking, "When will this be over?" try to feel the warm water, the movements of your hands, the sparkle of clean dishes. If you're working on a project, instead of worrying about whether people will praise you, focus on doing each step with care and presence. When you bring awareness into each simple task, you will feel more peace and joy, and less anxiety and struggle. As the Buddha said, "All beings have Buddha wisdom, but because of confused thinking, they cannot see it." That wisdom is already in you, in every present moment. It is not easy to truly live in the present, but these three mindsets, stepping out of the time trap, stopping problem creation, and changing the way you act, are the best ways to train yourself to do it. Remember, watch your thoughts. Let them be there, but do not get caught by them. That is the freedom of living in the now. See you in the next episode.